Welcome to the Quick 10 podcast, brought to you by Trac, focusing on all things FedCon and cyber defense from different perspectives and different personalities, all in 10-ish minutes. Here's your host, Derek White.
Welcome back to another episode of the Quick 10 podcast here in person at CUI-CON 2026 in Orlando, Florida, where it's beautiful weather outside while the rest of the country deals with the cold and the mess. While they're doing that, we're very, very happy to have Justin Merhoff from Rhymetec on today for spending a couple minutes with us. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You bet. You're on the vCISO side. That's your role. We're going to talk about a couple things today, but real quickly for everybody listening and watching, what is it that you guys do and what your role is there before we roll into thought leadership?
So at Rhymetec, I provide vCISO services for our clients, different advisory services in compliance. That could be the ISO series, SOC 2, but recently we have been focusing on CMMC and FedRAMP because there's a lot, just from learning at this conference, there's a lot of misunderstanding, and just want to help guide the clients to utilize this as a business enabler, not see it as the blocker that a lot do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this conference is one of the better ones for sure when it comes to education, the details that matter, not just speakers who are pitching their stuff up there. The panels are really good because it's kind of fun to see different people with different senses present. So your specific background is impressive. Thought leadership is something that we chatted about real quick before we hopped on. Mm-hmm. Talk about that a little bit on where you I don't want to say grind your gears per se, but like the things that you really see the value in and understanding on that you guys can provide.
So I think one of, just in the industry, cybersecurity has been seen as something that just has to be done, and a lot of times it's not communicated through the business. And through my experience, I've been heavy-handed before, in my military background in applying security, but I've definitely learned from that to where security needs, yes, you need to fulfill the controls, but there's the human side of it as well, and you have to build a security program that is not just compliant but works for the business, or why are you doing it in the first place? And just helping our clients be secure, but also enable business.
Yeah, I mean and obviously depending on who you're talking to and what part of the supply chain and what sort of services they provide. We have, big conversations here all week have been the contractors who have some DOW work, some that have a lot.
Right.
Some that have multiple divisions, some that are prime, some that are sub, some that are both. Gets into it. So where, there anything there that you see at least getting better from maybe a year ago to where we are today at the beginning of 2026 as the year goes on that you feel is getting better?
I think that the understanding of what CUI is and how you have to protect it is not just being understood from the IT and security teams. The sales teams and the business development teams are understanding it too, because they're getting it from their clients. And one of the things that even that we do at Rhymetec, but I've been doing since 2017, is answering client questionnaires, RFPs, RFIs, and kind of the bane of the work. It's not the pretty part of cybersecurity, but how I look at it is it tells you what the industry is wanting. So if you're in that space, if you're in the DIB at all, then you're not going to get away from CMMC or FedRAMP. It's not something you can dodge. And let's say even if you wanted to put things in place to maybe not have you to be in compliance, you still would need an advisor to help you build that strategy so that you're protecting the information while maybe not having to go completely through the CMMC route. So I think and just like at this conference, you were talking about the great sessions, and true, and they're not just sales pitches, but the other piece to that as well is that the community building and learning just from people having the side conversations and learning from others has been great. So I think, the word's getting out.
Yeah, and the conversations, especially in the small to medium size. Let's go back to 2017 for a second. Those questionnaires weren't being filled out by the same people that are being filled out now. So those conversations are a little bit different. I don't want to say emotional in some cases, but
It can be.
There's definitely some.
Some of them are audits. They're not just questionnaires. They're
100%.
literally a full-blown audit.
Put it back on who are saying that they're doing it or not doing it.
Yes.
So, okay. So then, from your guys' perspective on some of those challenges, where do you see your services and what you guys do? I mean, are you driving partnership now more than you ever were before? Is it like people come to you for kind of the same thing a lot of times, and that it evolves to another conversation? Do you have any, I don't know, we'll say just trends that were different from a year ago that they are now?
So I'm newer to the company, but I believe that I was actually a client of Rhymetec at one point at my last role, and I think that we get a lot of clients from providing either pen tests or internal audits, and then they come over and get full-blown vCISO services from us.
Yeah.
And I think when we're talking about CMMC and that role, I think one of the things that I'm excited about, and there's a talk later today, is how to utilize ISO 9001 and 27001. It's not completely mapping over, but to get a better transition into CMMC, and then vice versa. So I have a client currently right now that we're working with that is only going for a CMMC level 2, and I talked to them about that I was coming here in that talk, and they were very excited that we could transition that and get them prepared for ISO 27001. And one of the speakers earlier today was they're doing that at their company. They're leveraging the CMMC environment to also meet ISO 27001 standards.
Yeah, and that's obviously, if you're doing something like that, I shouldn't say obviously, culture change is different. So there's a lot of companies that are either small or big, medium, that if that hasn't been something that they focused on as a company, then it is a culture shock. It is a really why do we have to do it this way? Why do we have to do it that way? Is it prescribed in some cases but not in others? I think that's gotten better personally in the last 6 to 12 months, is not just the realism of it, but the buy-in to it. Where why would you not want to do it? Because it doesn't sound very good to say, we do a pretty average job at cybersecurity. It's not really something any owner or C-level person wants to say at a company. So this is one way to do it. ISO is another great example. There's people who have 853 programs. So we had some people on this week that have done lots of HIPAA related. It's all
we do that as well.
Yeah, it's all essentially the same idea. As sensitive stuff needs to have requirements in it that are a standard to be required, have to be a level playing field, which is good. Anything that you see that you're interested at seeing the program as it continues to roll out in 2026 that you hope goes the way that you see it, as far as lessons learned from assessments and or vendors and availability for solution sets for small businesses, medium businesses?
I'll get a little personal. I think one thing, I went through the FedRAMP process at one of my other organizations, and I think that what I'm hoping to see is that businesses really utilize going through this process as a business enabler, and not just to gain the business and obviously making more profit, but highlighting the efforts of the security team. We're humans too. We like to be a part of the business, and we want to see the business succeed. That's why we're there. And it might just be, being listed on a marketplace, but then that shows we did that as a team, and getting a little bit emotional, but being able to actually see your efforts being utilized by clients is a success to us.
Yeah, it feels like you're helping.
Yeah.
Part of the solution, not part of the problem, right?
Yeah, that's why we do it.
That's right. And there's a lot of people here that share that sentiment, this event. And this, again, it'll continue to expand, and the more problem solving that we can do, the better it's going to be for everyone. So, but thank you for spending a few minutes with us. everyone here that's now listening or watching that wants to know more so they can talk to you for more than 10 minutes, where do you want to send them?
So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name's Justin Merhoff, Merhoff. And if you're interested in any of our services at Rhymetec, you can go to rhymetec.com. That's RHYMETEC.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Justin. Really appreciate your time, and looking forward to having you on again.
All right, thanks, Derek.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and make sure to subscribe to the Cuick 10 podcast wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Cuick Trac, visit our website at www.cuicktrac.com.